I'll start. It is now 6:42, and this is the City of Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee meeting for November 19th, 2019. Notice is hereby given that a meeting of the Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee will be held on Tuesday, November 19th at 6:42 at Sandy Oaks City Hall, located at 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas 78112, for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. So I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll get a quorum.
John Crickmer here.
John.
Ann Garza here.
Jennifer Godoy. Ruth Carbajal.
Charles Bellinger.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we'll move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. There doesn't appear to be any citizens to be heard. At least I didn't see any out in the parking lot. And even though we don't have a paper, I think we're good. So, agenda item number 4, discuss and/or possible action on adopting the release of liability for sole proprietorship contractors, and I think everybody has the copies.
I do not.
Cassandra adopted this from the one we used for volunteers, and so
Thank you.
it looks pretty good to me. I read it over.
The volunteers need one?
That's what I was told. That
When we have volunteers, they have to sign a waiver.
Okay.
You didn't sign one?
A protest.
So, does anybody have any discussion on this, or any qualms with the statement? I'll give you a little bit more time to read it if you want.
I'm good with signing.
Read it and it looks good. Everybody understand why we need this
So
form?
we don't sue the city?
Okay. Normally when you hire a contractor, one of the state requirements is that they have workman's compensation.
Right.
So that if their employee gets hurt, they go on workman's compensation rather than sue the city for lost compensation. The way state law works, though, is sole proprietors and simple partnership cannot insure themselves under workman's comp. Okay? So, you know, so we cannot make a sole proprietor give us a certificate of workman's compensation. This is to allow small businesses that are not corporations, that don't have employees, to bid on small jobs out here. And that's what we're all about here. And, you know, attorney approved and Tom Rapino approved, I suggest we adopt this as a standard.
Okay, I have a question now.
Yes, sir.
Since this is a general waiver of liability, does the city want to use this too? So wouldn't the normal council have to approve it?
Well, I think the council's going to have to approve it regardless.
Yeah.
But it should be worded in such a way that it can be used. I don't think it's specific to the park, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Just as I understand, there may be known or unknown risk associated
So
with
what it says,
activities
something about the
I
city
intend
park.
to perform at the city park.
Okay.
Well, I think she put it that way because the city hall is here, which may not be.
Yeah, but if we had other work that needed to be done, I mean, that's typically where we're using contractors, is here in the park.
Yeah. Which may be related to activities performed in City Hall located at 44.
Oh, okay.
And in and around the structure intended to be used as a municipal building. So I do think we probably need to, and this would be okay for the park, but the city might want to.
Do something similar for other,
Yeah,
in
so
case-
if you want, if somebody will co-sponsor with me, Charles, I'll put it on the agenda for the council meeting. And so I don't think we need to adopt it here
Okay.
because the
We
city
we just
will-
recommended.
Yeah, recommend
for
it
the
that
city
it
to
be
adopt
adopted. And I'll ask Cassandra to change it so that
it's more general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better, we can just adopt all city-owned property as park properties.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a
Then,
good
you know,
idea.
The,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, anyhow.
Anyhow.
I'll bring it up at the council meeting.
Okay,
Agenda item number 5, discuss and possible action on the completion of repair to the walking trail and possible needs for additional work. And John and I went down, was it Saturday, John?
I think it was.
Yeah, and we looked at the work that was done, and one part of it on the, was it the second?
Second area,
Second
near
area,
side.
yeah, was not correctly sloped, so when we came back, I asked Catherine to contact the contractor, and he came right out and he made the repair.
Yeah,
Or-
he's
or-
usually very good about
yeah.
that.
So, I think that, it is corrected as far as we wanted it to be at this time. I don't know if in the future we may want to do more. John has some ideas about shoring up those areas, about with the concrete.
Get the
or cement.
80-pound cement ready-mix bags, put them around the bend on the outside of the bend.
Wet
Because
'em
it is
down.
it is a
Yeah, wet them down.
grade,
down and they'll
grade
harden.
down about, 6 inches at least from the trail to the grade. That would just hold the trail in, keep it from washing down.
We can do that, or we may have an abundance of tires that we could choose from and fill them with sand and make a berm. I mean,
if
We could use tires.
if we don't, one trip around town will,
we can usually find all we need. No, but that's a good idea, is to
Bobby
shore
has
that
quite
up.
a collection.
I saw that.
That's where, I mean, that was something she was talking about.
So yeah, I think that's a good idea to shore that up a little bit and keep it from,
Isn't an 80-pound bag about $3, 2 something or 3 something?
I think it's a little more now, but
But
not
we
much
have to
more,
measure
not
it and
much
see
more.
how many
many?
bags we'd need
Yeah.
laid end to end.
Okay. Do you want to?
I can do that if you'd like.
If you would, and then we can consider it at the next meeting.
Okay.
Or-
you might want to, price shop 40-pound bags also, sir,
Okay.
just
because
because.
80's pretty heavy.
Well, no,
I have trouble with-
if you, you know, I have no problem at all going out there and laying, bags of concrete, but I don't do 80 pounds anymore.
I have trouble with 40.
Well, I could do it myself. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You have to sign a liability.
I can put it in my,
He
Make sure
did.
you sign,
He-
sign on the dotted line of
He-
the,
He's
yeah, I'm
already,
gonna sign the volunteer
you already
disclaimer
did,
for my
sir.
back.
You're on
already.
file. You're on file. You-
Yeah, I already
You've
am.
already
I've been-
disclaimed, didn't
For a
you?
long time ago, actually, when I think Mickey Ball's first term, I signed one of these.
I didn't know you then.
No.
Well, so that's what we'll do. The trail, as far as we wanted it to be has been corrected. I mean, in the future, we may do more, but we'll take that up at a later date.
So
And ju-
depending on the cost of the concrete,
Concrete,
we
yeah.
wouldn't have to bring that before council. I think if it's less than 200, I think I can approve up to 200.
Something like that.
Or Lou is certainly able to do that. So, I mean,
Okay.
I think that we start talking about materiality, and I think for our purposes, the council purposes, I think we kind of drew the line at $500 is something that we would want to bring back before council, but incidentals, we should be able to accommodate.
I don't want to do this until right before we have a good rain. We'll
Oh,
have to
yeah.
Time it, because we don't want them out there dry. People will
Exactly.
tear them up.
Right. And you can water them, but yeah, the rain
Yeah,
helps.
we're not gonna water 'em.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
So you'll figure out how much we need?
I'll
and-
get the linear distance of the radius of the outer curve
Uh-huh.
and bag length end to end and see how many we need and the cost of that.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
We're gonna, I'm just talking about the first one. I'm not talking about the second one right now though.
Oh, okay, so at the first.
Because it's the
second.
worst, I think.
The first one is?
I think
Okay.
so. As I
Okay,
recall, if I'm wrong, I'll get back with you and let you know.
okay, well, we can always, do something further at another meeting. Okay, so, agenda item 6, discuss and possible action engaging the contractor used to repair the walking trail to resurface the playground. Do we have any interest in still doing that?
I would like to do some core samples. I would like, what I noticed,
Throw this.
Yeah, it's not very.
no, what I
big.
know, I hate being a progressive. We're not trying to make anything better around here, are we? No. What I saw was where the playground unit itself is anchored in the ground, there is virtually concrete to the surface. So that's an issue. And the rest of it, what I scratched around wasn't very deep at all. You hit sand after about this deep. So what we need to do is determine how much this rock is there now and then go from there, because we're going to have to, if we have a certain requirement for the depth of our surface, we probably have to dig down a bit. We may have to put some rubber cushions around the high and proud concrete or something. I'm not sure.
Well, I think the three of you, I sent those pictures I took from that
Right.
that playground. I just thought that was a great way to address the issue of stickers. Plus, it's padded, so you could even, we could put something underneath, whether it be sand or something that's a little bit of a cushion.
Mm-hmm.
And for everybody else,
Well, I think it's a good idea. There's some in government regulation says there's a requirement for safety. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to be within the,
Guidelines.
yeah, so I'm for it. If that works for the guidelines, then I'm all for that indoor-outdoor carpet as well.
I don't know how much that would cost, but I just think it's such a great.
Our area is not very big.
It's
there.
really not that big. Have we measured that off
Yeah,
yet?
it's
40 by
So,
50 or something.
57 by,
I want to say 45 by 57
57,
is what we actually measured.
yeah.
So it's not that much, 2,500 square feet or so.
And
Now the artificial turf they had a long length to the. I don't want to call it grass.
The
but
pile.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looked good, and then they used rock and bordered it.
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
Yeah, it was real clean. But
Well,
you
that was
could
on the outside of the fence, though, wasn't it? Or
It was not fenced at all.
oh,
That area was not fenced at all. I'm looking for the message I sent you guys.
I saw it.
Yeah, but the ladies haven't seen it. And I don't remember which phone I sent it from. Because
Oh, that's gotta be
It
a
must be a drug dealer.
nuisance.
There it is. It's where you did the stencils. Okay, let me come around here and show you. So this is a subdivision that's over, if you go 1604, like you're gonna go to Houston that way, and you get on 10, don't get on 10. There's a subdivision right there. It's called Paloma.
Yep.
And I was over there for some reason. I got lost, or I was looking for a shortcut, or whatever. A few weeks back, and I remembered this. So when I was coming back from the wedding last weekend, we stopped so I could take pictures. So what they've done, here's their playground area, and so you have your natural grass here. Then they put this rock, and then all this playground is AstroTurf. Every
That
bit
looks
of it.
nice.
Well, I think it helps because it's soft, and there's no stickers. That doesn't mean that stickers won't somehow make their way over there.
Yeah,
But I-
people's feet.
Yeah.
And
But
the
I think
wind.
as exactly. But I think as a general, it just looked really good.
Just make sure it has
It
a
looks
good
it
UV inhibitor
just makes it
in
look
it.
real clean.
Yeah, and also.
Was it soft, like
it's
squishy when
probably
you
gonna
stepped on
take
it?
a contractor
No, it's ab-
to put that
Yeah.
in.
So how much is?
I don't
Somebody-
know.
Oh,
the
okay.
If
answer
it's
to that.
indoor,
It's just
outdoor,
Okay.
Something I
it'll be UV resistant.
thought might work because we have a relatively small children's playground.
Right.
So if we could do something like that. I know that CJ was looking for some indoor-outdoor carpet for one of the pet events, and it was really
Yeah.
pricey.
Yeah,
Really?
that's what I was thinking. And then if we do something that has to go down to a, AstroTurf or something like it is not, usually you have to get a contractor to do something like that, that knows what they're doing.
Right.
But, so, it's a good idea to look into, I guess, so.
Yeah, you're looking somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 yards to. and,
That's the
uh,
measurements.
57,
Yeah, I'm saying
45.
2,700 square feet.
2,700 square feet, okay.
Let me see, 56 times 45.
You want me to get my calculator?
Oh, he needs to use his head.
I don't use it for anything else.
This phone's not set up the same as the other. 56 by what?
I think it's
40 something.
45 by 57.
45
Yeah.
by 57.
Isn't there one
25,
side of the
65.
I didn't wanna
fence that's
correct
not
him.
real pretty? Isn't one side of the fence not real pretty?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's-
2,700.
I like 2,700 as a good round number
That's
to
a
work
good
with.
round number.
Yeah, okay.
300 yards, even, that's $6,000 if it's 20,
Plus installation,
20 per square yard.
plus a carpet pad.
Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna find, I think it's gonna be less expensive than that.
Could check for your government surplus sites and see if they
We can-
have that.
I doubt if they're going to have it at a surplus site, but again, we can buy off a Bear County contract. We can buy off a DIR contract. We have a whole nother,
The TML has a.
well, I was going to say the buy board. We could check on the buy board as well. And also reach out to Bear County, their parks.
They may have some surplus.
Or they might have a good
Those
deal.
The good wood chips are, from what I understand, are quite expensive. I forget who told me they're pretty pricey.
Yeah,
The safety kind, the acceptable wood chips are quite expensive. I hear.
yeah, I got some ridiculous, like $18,000
$18,000.
quotes on
Oh,
that.
and I said it was 22 to cover it, but I forgot that it was actually 82,000 to cover it.
22 is still shocking enough.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that,
What?
That's for
wanna-
wood chips.
No, we were talking about the
Shade,
shade.
Shade.
Oh.
for the shade structure.
Yeah. But we got something for a lot cheaper
Should've,
than that.
we should've just went ahead and got two of them.
I asked, they only had one.
No,
I did, I asked.
okay, he had two cargo nets. but
He had to, but then I think somebody got one of them.
Okay, well, let's
Okay, so,
let's leave that one, then we're looking at,
getting some kind of pricing.
let me shoot off an email to Mr. McGlamory and see if he can kind of help us out with that, with purchase options. And if nothing else, we'll check the buy board and the DIR.
Okay.
okay, so rather than talk to Chad about resurfacing right now, we're gonna
Yeah,
Let's
look at,
look at other options.
other options. That's good.
Okay, so we'll move on to agenda item number 8, and that is discuss and possible action on status of.
Let's go to 7.
Let's go
Well, I
to
was gonna say
7.
what happened to
Tom.
7.
Paint.
Oh, I checked it off.
Slow down.
It was a done deal. No. Discuss and possible action on the status of solicitation of contractors to repaint the playground equipment. Well, I got re-quotes from both of the contractors that had originally submitted the quote because we asked them about warranty and about insurance, and that's what generated this. And the pricing didn't change. The more expensive one had a 2-year warranty on the job. The lesser, the $3,300 one, had no warranty, but they were willing to sign a waiver. And I'm
Did
sure-
you just have 2 or?
We just had 2. I tried to get more. Nobody, once they found out it was, you know, not-
Fiberglass and epoxy, they don't want
They didn't wanna do it,
anything to
yeah.
do with it.
Really?
So, and I even submitted again, and I got the same 2 people that resubmitted that. You know.
Did they explain how they're gonna prep the material? They're just gonna,
The higher price one had a good explanation of what they were gonna do, what they were gonna prime, pressure wash and so forth and so on. The less expensive one didn't have a lot of description other than that they were gonna paint.
What was the high end price?
7,000?
7,000. I got it right here somewhere.
How
Can
long
they
is
use
2
paint
years?
that resists
7,280.
graffiti?
Boy, somebody could make a lot of money with that, couldn't they?
Well, the other option is let's just open it up for graffiti and get it painted.
Yeah, please.
Good idea.
Please come down.
Please
So the
tag
per-
our playground
It
equipment.
was 7,800.
7280.
Okay, and the other one was
33 power wash using 3 different using the same colors that are on there, using epoxy paint, 2 coats of paint, prime where is necessary, no warranty, paid job 3,000. Don't have a workman, he said that, but
That's
we'll
the
sign
cheaper
it.
one?
That's the cheaper one,
And it was 3,300.
3,300, yes.
let me read that quickly, sir.
Are we gonna recommend one?
I mean, that's a vast difference in
Price.
Right.
price.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this guy's will hold up for 2 years as well, the cheaper one. But I didn't get to talk to that guy, so.
Yeah, I did. He seemed competent, and of course, you know.
Well, any
they'll tell
salesman
you
can
any of that.
seem
Yeah,
confident.
and so did the ladies that came out to quote it, this $7,200 one. So,
So everything in there would get repainted.
except for some of those rubber coated.
Yeah,
things.
not worried about
Yeah.
those.
And those roller things, they're rubber, I think.
This guy does
And
a lot
you
of-
got this off contractor board?
No, I got it from Home Advisor.
Okay. Do they rate their
They
Did you see that?
contractors or?
That's the cheap
they,
one.
they do.
Oh.
You can get a rating from them. These guys are supposedly good people. So
Oh, what do you, when they get people that are satisfied customers to give them a survey.
Are there
Yeah,
reviews
they
on that?
survey, because I've used
Yeah,
Home
reviews.
Advisor in the past. I just used them a little while, a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Home Advisor's good.
And they, right away, actually, they're a pain in the ass, pardon my French. They call you
French.
almost every
That's not
day.
French.
I understood it.
It's German, isn't it?
Oui, oui, monsieur, monsieur.
I guess it's coulee or something in French. But anyhow, they call you almost every day or text you and email you they want you to rate the job that
Did
was done.
these people have any ratings?
No, that I saw, no.
Did you see? Okay.
I can go and ask Home Advisor if they would rate these guys, but
Did this guy say where he's from?
he's from right around here.
830, it could be Floresville or
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's between here
London.
and Floresville, because he's saying it wouldn't take him long to get here.
People's
shade
Choice
tree.
Painting and
But
Remodeling.
both of them are. I
I
talked
would
to those
Google it to
ladies.
see if they have any
They
reviews
just
on
seemed
Google.
more involved in all the stuff they wanted to do.
Besides
Didn't seem
Home
was
Advisor.
necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the only,
So
and I
it's-
didn't get to talk to the cheap guy because he said he'd be here at a certain time, and when I showed up, he'd already got
Yeah,
here.
he had come early.
So that's not real dependable.
True. But anyhow, that's why I brought these two in, so I don't pick any one of them. I probably would have more confidence in the more expensive one, because it had warranty, but like you say.
Shall we recommend the more expensive one to council and see what they decide?
Well,
We wanna look at our budget too, cause
Yeah,
we're
I think-
eating into it.
Considering the other one only has a 2-year warranty, even if we brought these guys back in a year, that's still less than the higher priced one.
well, and my other concern is, the warranty is not gonna address any vandalism. So it would really just kill me if we spent the higher amount and then they came in and vandalized it and we're
And they're
back to
not-
where we
yeah,
were.
Right.
Good point. I don't think that, well, the cheaper guy, the ladies, I did talk to them, they're the more expensive one. They seemed a little more involved than necessary. That was my opinion, speaking to them.
Pleasanton, he's out of Pleasanton.
So, that
On
was,
Home Advisor, he's got 4.9 out of 5,
That's good.
but I don't know how many. Let
Yeah.
me see, it could be,
Two.
could be just him and his wife.
His own review.
it's funny.
well, that happens a lot.
Once it's painted, is there anything that we can put over it, like to make spray paint come off easier? Is there a thing?
Vaseline.
There is something,
Yeah, the kids
they say
sliding
shaving
over.
cream or something like that removes graffiti. I guess I don't know what it is. WD-40
No,
or something will take it
I
off.
remember reading
Oh,
Depends
yeah.
on
about
what they
this,
use
it's a
to
paint
do
that
the
you put on there and
graffiti.
it just comes right
Yeah,
off.
if we start taking it off, then they'll chisel it in and they'll make it that much harder.
Yeah, if they use a high gloss
Well, let's
epoxy,
improve the fence.
He has 5 reviews. October of 2018 was the first one. All of them are 5.0. So where the 4.9 came from, I don't know, unless over time.
So there's not even one bad review?
Not even one bad review. He's honest. I didn't hesitate when hiring this company. On time and professional. They were honest, hardworking, dependable, and very pleasant to have working in my home. It was a very good experience. He did a neat job, reliable. He can also use me as a reference. Diego, the first one,
But
from
what is-
August.
He does a
That was from-
variety of things.
He does a variety of things.
No.
Yeah, he was, well, art was one. Says he's very good at what he does. He's been painting many years and did a top-notch service. I will be calling him back for flooring in the future. So he kind of does a lot of things. But that was on, let me check the BBB and see if there's any complaints. He's had 5 total complaints in the last 3 years.
Oh, he has?
And of those, 3 complaints were closed in the last 12 months, which tells me he says, so let me look at the 5 and see what it says here. It's unanswered. Problems with the product or service. Okay, so this is December 2018. Contracted with People's Choice for sprinkler system installation. Paid over $1,500 for materials. The work was never done. On May 15th of 2017, I received and signed an estimate to install a lawn sprinkler system. Let me make sure this is the same one. It is. Oh, sorry. That was People's Choice Construction.
Well, we'll contact him for our
Yeah,
sprinkler
painting
system.
and remodeling. Yeah, we'll have to do some more checking. You know, my overall assessment on this is we had a bunch of volunteers who went out and we did some cleaning and we did some painting and it was some hard work. It can be done, but in the end, it's a playground. It's outdoors.
Yep.
Do we want to spend a whole lot of money on that?
Not
It's not
really.
that, I mean,
We can-
as long as they're not using lead paint, which they shouldn't be,
Yeah.
and it spruces it up a little bit.
Yeah,
The only reason we put it on here to begin with was the survey that we had, that people,
Well, there's still graffiti out there, and it could look better. I think a fresh coat of paint would certainly make it more appealing, and we get some good material in there for the base.
I think the more important one is the shade. And
Well, the other thing that we need to consider is with the weather, you're not going to be able to paint. You're going to have a limited window for getting the painting done because of the temperature and moisture and stuff like that. So maybe that's something we put off and do it in the spring or
Yep.
something.
Yeah,
The
we're,
focus-
we're past the good time.
We
to
are.
Be doing exterior painting.
Yeah, I agree. And then maybe in the meantime, we might come up with someone else that's between those two.
okay, well, I'll keep plugging
Or
that.
doing
But I
it
think
ourselves.
we need more. We need to know more about this company if this is what we end up doing. I don't know that. Not 100% comfortable with them. The 5
Okay.
reviews were great, but they were all fairly recent.
Well, I will continue to look, and we can put this on hold until we really decide we want to paint it or
Okay. What was
or
the
how we
name?
want to address.
What's the name of the other company? The one for 78.
C&N Painting.
What is it, C and M?
C
C&N.
and N.
Oh, N.
Painting and minor repairs. And the people that came out here were 2 middle-aged ladies.
I
When
used to be middle-aged.
I did too. Actually, I was young when, no.
Were you a middle-aged
No.
lady?
I called them, and there are men involved in this too, because I got a hold of, I guess, one of the ladies' husbands, and he was aware of the paint jobs and how to do it. So I don't think the 2 women would be doing it. Probably they have people coming in for them.
Never know.
No,
what I
not that
was
they
thinking.
couldn't do it. Don't get me wrong.
Never assume.
I'm not misogynistic. Believe me, I love women.
Amen.
Okay, so we'll put this one on hold for now.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I'm all for them. Because they're progressive.
If you want something done, give it to the women.
Okay, now that's sexist.
Is that anti-misogynistic?
Yeah, I don't know
Talking about-
how do you, is there a word for?
I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
a good question.
Yeah. Agenda item 8, discuss and/or possible action on status of the format to reserve the pavilion. And I noticed that you said that you had put it on the website now and people can,
They can, and we can tweak that in any way if you want to add more fields. It was a quick plug-in that was available through WordPress. They had several options. I just chose I think, the fourth option that was on there. It just looked a little bit more user-friendly. I've sent a test to Catherine. I've sent a couple of test messages. I want to see how she receives them, and then what happens. Is there an approval or something that actually posted on there? So it's not ready for prime time, even though it's on there, because at least if somebody wanted to submit to use it, we know who they are. One of the things that I put on there was that tables and chairs are available for an additional fee, so we could rent out the tables and chairs if they needed them.
Okay.
I didn't see any verbiage about the rules and regulations. Was it on there?
It's not, so
Okay.
we can
They
put.
have to sign a contract though, right? About
Yes,
they're
there
gonna
would be
pick up
something-
after themselves.
exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
And I couldn't remember what we decided on a deposit.
And that's what I was going to bring up next.
Yeah.
Did we say $100?
That's what, I'm
I would
thinking it
go with
was
$50
100, but that
refundable
seemed like a
myself, but
lot.
that's just me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too outrageous.
I think I put 50 on there. I couldn't remember what we
I
decided.
think that 100 was talked about,
Yeah,
but
me
I thought
too.
it
I
was kind of
remember
a
100.
lot
Seemed a little high, but
for the
Well, so
people.
what we could do is, let's say it's 50, and maybe it's 50% refundable.
So you get
Oh.
25 back.
You get 25 back. And that would
well, I
be
wouldn't call it a deposit then. I would call it a fee and a deposit.
reservation fee or something.
Yeah,
That is partially refunded or something like that.
Something like that. I just,
There
what I,
should be
what
a
I,
rental fee.
well, and what my biggest concern is, that, we all here, we want to believe that everybody's good, and I can tell you, it's not
We know
always that
better.
way.
I
We know
know better.
better.
And so, we go into this with good intentions, expecting the same in return, and what you're gonna end up with is
Huge mess.
something's gonna happen, and the city's gonna be left holding the bag to repair, clean, whatever it is.
The worst thing I can think of is they're gonna cut the canopy.
They're gonna what?
Cut the canopy.
Oh,
I
my
wouldn't
God.
think that would happen when somebody reserved it, but
You would hope
You never
not.
know, but there are other people at the thing.
But we need
But
to
I'm
have
thinking like
cameras.
exactly, but I'm thinking like trash, just a major cleanup that may have to happen.
What about people getting hurt? Little kids falling down, broken bones, cut.
well, they
Somebody
need to sign something also.
glass.
You
beer
cannot enter
bottle.
the park without
I
a
think
waiver.
that's just a park.
It is.
thing, though.
It's
Yeah.
just.
But
yeah.
do we
As
have a
far as-
liability
yeah,
for that?
we have general liability. And,
Covers it?
We have insurance.
Yeah, we have municipal
Okay.
insurance that covers normal activities of
Right.
cities, and parks are
And as
normal
long as,
activity.
yeah,
And
and as
there-
long as we don't have a hazard that created the
Yeah.
problem.
there are limits, okay, as to how much people can sue and get from cities on these things. So
Like workman's comp.
workman's comp,
I mean, if they come out and they play on the playground and they
The-
get hurt, it's no
the-
different than if they're renting the pavilion and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
And the only way the city's actually liable for those things is if we have an attractive nuisance,
Yeah.
because, playground is pretty much a parent's responsibility and risk. You can't sue anybody, well, this is America, you can sue anybody
for
at
anything.
any time for anything.
It's a litigious
But
society.
it doesn't mean that you have any standing once you get to court. Okay? All right, I let my toddler climb up that 14-foot ladder and he fell. Gravity never fails. Okay? Parents fail, but you understand what I'm saying? It's hard to go into court and say,
all right, bye.
yeah, I took the kid to the playground, he fell off, and the judge goes, oh, really? Yeah, why weren't you watching him? Because,
Now, if there was a big jagged piece of metal and the kid got
Yeah.
sliced
yeah.
up, then we'd be responsible.
So, anyhow, we have a general liability insurance policy that will cover
That's good.
most things.
So are we gonna say $50 fee?
What would
I was also thinking maybe
we need
something
to-
other than a fee, maybe a copy of a driver's license so they feel like they're more accountable for their party or what happens afterwards. Like they can be tracked down or ticketed or fined or something.
Yeah. So yeah.
They're gonna require ID and all that.
Yeah, anyhow.
That's gonna be
Okay.
part of the application.
Not so
I'm
much
gonna-
ID,
I'm
but
gonna
an
ask the-
actual
I'm
copy.
gonna
Just,
ask-
just not even just so they know, like, okay, they have my address. They have
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna ask that we stop talking about fees because it's not on it, but
Okay.
on the format to reserve the pavilion.
Oh, on the
yes.
format, okay.
I think that we need name, address, and I think it would be reasonable to ask for at least one form of identification. Because,
So the form has their name, and it needs to be the person who's making the reservation.
Yes.
So it's their name, their phone number, their email address, their physical address.
It could be a bill, a CPS bill, a SOS bill,
Yeah.
like they do at school
Sure.
when you register a kid.
So on the form, I've made all of those required.
Okay.
okay,
Because if you're wanting to reserve it, we really do need to know who you are. Not making any distinction between resident and non-resident.
no.
It applies
it's a
equally for
public park,
everybody.
it's a public park.
Right.
But I think a copy of the driver's
I
license.
agree.
Or not even driver, government ID, that's what schools do, just.
Photo
Something,
ID.
yeah. So.
Did you put
but-
all that on there already? I haven't seen
No, I
any of
didn't
that.
put that. At the bottom, so you have the calendar and at the bottom is the form.
I didn't see any of that. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, can we do this? Everybody kind of take a look at it and see what works, what doesn't. Go ahead and submit a request, and in the description, I just put test. I think I did test, just so she knows we're just testing it. But I
goes
want to
to
be
Catherine.
able to see what happens, how it gets posted.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, we would have the time and date stamp in case there's any conflicts. And then on there, I also, I needed a time. Tell me what date and what time. And to also include, when you're setting your time, be sure that you include setup and cleanup as part of that reservation. So take a look at it. Just give me your feedback on what you think you want to change on it or what might work better. And then, like I said, do a test submission, and then I'll get with Catherine and we'll kind of see how that's coming in and how that gets back on the calendar. And it could be that I may have to choose a different add-in if that one doesn't work. But there were several that were available.
Okay, and I'll add this back on for the next meeting,
Okay.
after we do that, so we can all discuss our experience.
And let's go ahead and add discussing fees and
Fee.
usage.
Yeah,
I
put
thought,
that on there.
You could
Yeah.
broadly discuss fee under format, but we'll do it the other way.
And I think another thing I put on there was to give us an indication of how many people. That would be
Yeah, we need to put a like occupancy
a limit or
limit,
something.
yeah.
It's an outdoor structure, so you can overflow into the park.
Yeah,
That's not
true,
really. And then also consider if we want to do the rental of the tables and chairs, what do you think would be, one table with 6 chairs would be a fee, $10 or
Would we
something.
want to
I don't know.
ask the rental places what they charge, or
You can check and see. I
Yeah,
don't know what it
because-
is, but
Yeah,
How many
people-
tables and chairs do we?
I think we have 6 or 7 tables and we have a bunch of chairs.
where they at?
Well, most of them, not all of them, but some of them are out here in the area between the 2 bathrooms. There's a storage thing.
Uh-huh.
The rest of them are up at FSP locked up. Just because we had them in the
So they're
storage
the
room.
plastic vinyl collapsible kind?
The chairs are metal, and the tables are the solid 8-foot plastic ones that,
Long.
yeah, that the legs fold up.
Yeah.
It's what we used to have in the
Yeah,
old
right.
clubhouse here.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. Agenda
were
item
not
8,
We were the outside.
agenda, item 9,
We didn't know.
discuss impossible action on progress to install the distance markers, and John has showed everybody and put on the website the stencils
I
that he's
got the
gonna use.
stencils. They're made out of cardstock just to facilitate.
Have y'all seen them?
Expedite
Yeah.
getting them done.
He got
I think
somebody to
they'll-
do the stencils for free.
I think they'll
Oh,
be.
really?
It's one of my favorite words.
Right?
I think they'll do as
It
long
helps
as
to
we
know
take
people.
care of them.
That know people.
I think the post will probably get a lot of graffiti over time, and we'll probably want to reuse the
Yeah.
stencils.
I try to keep city and personal separate, but it
What
does
we need
bleed
to do
over.
is, you had mentioned a fluorescent green or some kind of color. Because I'm ready to paint the posts. All I need to know is what color we decide on. And spray
Fluorescent
paint.
green.
They told me,
Oh, that's
Oh,
neat.
cool.
her
Yeah, they're-
husband told me
Are those like
that
vellum? Is that what the material is that she used?
it's cardstock.
Oh, it is cardstock? Okay.
That looks
It's not
good.
quite as heavy as, say, manila folder.
Well, you're not gonna have to use them that,
Once they get some paint on them, they'll stiffen up.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I forgot what I was going to
you
say.
were talking about the color.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sure he went with
her
that.
husband does a lot of contracting work, and I said they want to use a
She started
fluorescent
also.
color, but I think it'll fade in the sun. And he said, "Well, put a clear coat over it, and it won't." So I don't know if that sounds reasonable.
It
So
sounds
we may do a 2-coat job, a clear coat over the
Mm-hmm.
fluorescent. We can go with the fluorescent orange like the marker they use for
That
surveying.
would work.
Is that what you want to use, the orange?
Something that's bright
Right,
and
yeah.
stands
that
out.
works.
Okay, because I know that fades in the sun. He said it didn't, but I'll put a clear coat over it.
Or, yeah.
And then as soon as we get that painted, then we'll be ready to put them in the ground, which
Perfect.
shouldn't take a couple hours at max.
I mean, they fit right on, they're just wide enough.
They're very wide, yeah. They're a little too close to the edge, but for free,
Hey, for
I'm
free.
not going to be too technical about
They're
it.
perfect.
Perfect.
They are perfect.
And they did it in a hurry.
Yeah.
At my,
I see you have a start. Do you have an end?
No,
Okay.
that's the half.
Ah. Okay.
Good.
Good job.
There's
All right.
5 posts.
So we're waiting on the painting and the stenciling and the installation.
I noticed somebody knocked down my survey stakes that I had distance marked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we noticed that last
They were
week.
there Sunday.
Huh?
Oh, I don't know if they were out there.
No,
I
we
walked
saw
on
them, they were
Sunday.
up, and then when we saw them, they were not up.
Yeah, right.
There was at least 1 or 2 of them. One was kind of kicked over, and the other one did a
I
start.
wonder
One
if,
People.
I wonder if,
It wasn't. It was after Chad was.
oh, I
gone.
was gonna say, I wonder if Chad accidentally.
I don't think he did. I could be wrong.
Well, I mean,
But
Well,
Doesn't
hopefully.
they were up when I saw him working out there. so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You still got your wheel.
I still got my wheel.
There you go.
Do
Well,
it again.
hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll be much further on this.
How far down are those posts going into the
2
ground?
feet. I've
Guess
got
they
them
won't
marked
knock
at 2.
those over
They're
quite
6-foot
soon.
posts. They're going to be 4 foot. We may want to put some solar lights, like
On the top,
Mm-hmm.
cap lights, yeah.
if you want to. They won't last long.
No, if they
Better
were
use some
8 foot
serious
tall, I'd
glue
say,
to
yeah,
hold
let's put an LED on it. But at 4 foot tall, nah, let's
gone.
hang an LED out in a tree somewhere. Make them
No,
work
these will
for it.
just be little footlights, you know.
Right.
They're not real bright.
Okay, so we'll move to agenda item 10, discuss impossible action on method to install playground shade. And I know it's here because I saw
It's
it
here.
last week. in the truck, so.
Okay.
And Charles has,
Did you know what we ended up doing?
No.
Okay, so at our last meeting, we talked about a parachute. So I reached out to Federal Surplus to find out, did they have any parachutes?
Hey, that's cool.
And he says, well, I don't have any parachutes. You looking for some shade? I said, well, as a matter of fact, we are. So let me find that picture.
and if you go to the link, Charles says there's a real outline on everything that comes with it.
Different colors.
Yes.
There's a video.
This is a rather bad
Video,
drawing,
yeah.
but
Okay, let me see
This
if I
is
can
mine.
find
an
it.
A-frame, it's gonna be
So he got a quote from
like
the
that.
shade people. It was outrageous for what
Yeah,
they
I remember that
wanted.
was like 83,000.
Yeah,
82
it was
something, yeah.
ridiculous. So this came in
That's just
That's a
at,
good price, good deal.
$750.
$750.
Oh, for the
for what we got.
Yeah.
U.S. Army shade structure.
that's cool. So you know it'll last in the sun.
Exactly.
Big enough for a Humvee.
Or-
Probably.
Actually,
That's
it's
bigger.
40 foot by 50
40 feet
foot.
by 50 feet,
It's
sir.
good
Like
size.
this?
No,
Not like
it
this.
actually, it goes up, and then it's kind of flat across the top.
Oh.
But it's 40 feet wide, and it's 50 feet deep. They have a picture of it,
So
it's got like
it'd be
18
twice as-
pickup trucks and a couple of motorcycles under it, so.
It'll
wow.
fit the whole playground if you want it. And Charles was saying
Actually,
we ought
this
to
is probably
raise it up
There's
about 4
11.
feet, then we'll cover the actual.
That's what I had in
playground
mind with
equipment.
it.
Sunshade.
If
Here
that
we go.
makes any sense. It's like an A-frame. This is just a support brace and it'll lean at a certain angle. This will be your shade cloth off the ground.
And
That's good.
so we can either utilize it in its present form, or we can cannibalize it and use it, do some, send it out to like a canvas shop and have
Oh
them
my
cut it
God.
down.
Don't take it to that
different
boat guy.
sizes.
He's a ripoff.
I hadn't
both got
seen
it.
it.
Frame.
It comes with the frame and
Down,
everything.
down.
The guy that I bought my boat,
It comes
the guy that
just like you see it,
not all-
except
Okay.
it's a
Tiny
crate.
one of
it's on
those for home.
37.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Yeah, I've seen
The,
it. I didn't-
He does canvas.
So I mean, it's a good,
aluminum.
inexpensive solution. It worked out well, so.
as you see that
Boats
picture,
are expensive.
Oh,
it's 14 feet high. Our play structure down there is a little over 15 feet high. So in that configuration, it's not gonna
It
go
won't
over
work.
the play structure. But the posts that are in there are actually square posts. It's actually
what I think.
a spring-loaded
I agree.
telescoping steel post.
That's kind of my, either, cut them at different shape, do the sail shade type thing.
oh yeah, you can make it
And
real
you could
artistic.
string them like
but
in the
that
trees or
causes
set
a-
a post and do it, that way.
causes the price to go up. You get more.
Yeah,
Well, you've seen
they-
that. You've seen it, right?
Yeah,
My idea of how we should do it.
my thought was, on the, set it up over the play structure, with the post lined up this way, to where the 50 feet is going across the 45-foot
Okay.
end of it, and extend it that way so that when you come up to the gate, you're already in the shade. And the backside, okay, first of all, because it's square posts, we can easily telescope another 4 feet below that to where these posts will be higher than our play structure. Okay. Setting this in line with the play structure, bring this side down to the height of our fence over here. Okay? Run it flat across the play structures. And then this side, roll out
Further.
an extended wing that way, and go ahead and set the post out here. So this would actually keep that play structure in the shade all day long.
So you want to go around like this, right? But angular.
I'm thinking just line it up with the existing piece and just, like I say, bring this down at the normal angle and extend this angle out to where it's sitting flatter. And what that would let us do is put on the gate side of the playground, we can actually set benches there for the parents to be in the
That'll be the
shade
shade.
also.
This isn't gonna, or you're not gonna have it all the way to the ground though, right?
No.
No.
Okay, because people are.
No, I'm thinking on the side, this side, we take it down up to about the level of the fence. And on the other side, we keep it up about 7 to 8 feet tall. Yeah, and what that would, we would have to buy some material to extend the original poles, and then we'd have to buy some additional poles for this,
For the height.
for the height, yeah.
So how are we going to put it up? Are we looking for a contractor or volunteers or?
The Army said
Yeah, I know two men.
two men
two
can
men
do it.
can put it up in an hour.
Yeah.
That's
Charles
probably two
said-
young men.
Well, us
Regular
old
men.
8 folks can do it this week.
You know,
We need the extension, so
I
that's gonna
figure
happen.
three old guys and a couple cheerleaders ought to be able to put it up in a day.
All right.
Well, we can try.
Okay, so I was going to give you some of the specs on the, because there's a whole website where you can see what this is all about. Provides,
yeah.
provides 60% solar block. So the setup dimensions are 40 wide, 50 long, and 12.6 high.
Okay,
So you do have even more. You have room to go up.
What
'cause
is
you've
it,
got
40 wide?
12.6 to the ground,
Yeah.
the way they've got it.
well, when I read that, it says the
Is my
the
agenda
posts
over there?
actually telescope
Thank you.
from 10 feet to 14 feet.
Perfect.
You'd almost
Mickey,
have
what's
to
the website?
telescope it.
This is outdoorventure.com.
Let me take a look at that, man.
Well, hold on. Oh.
If you go,
Well, what I was going to tell them, it says it provides 60% solar block, erectable by 2 soldiers in 60 minutes, performs in constant winds up to 32 miles an hour, withstands wind gusts up to 45, mildew, fungus, and rot resistant, and there's a repair kit included.
I have something like this on my fence, and I've had it for 2 years, and it holds on really
It's
good
still
to
good?
the winds and everything. And I have it tied with zip ties. And
Well, I was wondering if it was, give any protection from the rain, should that happen. What is it that you wanted to say?
oh, if you follow
it's
your
like very
original
tightly
link in
like
your
this, like
email,
that weave.
that website has a
Attached.
video of the thing.
That would help a
Because I
lot.
didn't
And-
See
and-
that and
And 6 or 8 different pictures
conceptualize
of,
how
On
to
the
do
corner.
it.
I did, right here.
And then it was
That's the link I went
100
to.
feet for $100. So this is like awesome.
now, go back to your original email where you forwarded
Oh,
the,
jeez, did I
all
send it
those
to you?
emails. Yep.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
It has a
When
little bit of
you were
view,
talking
but
to
it's
your
not
government
big.
guy and then you forwarded it to
Yeah.
Tom, John, and I.
Well, then that's in my sent
Yeah,
folder.
I've seen it.
It may take me a while. I
And it has
hate trying to do all this on the phone.
Really?
I wish I had my
Okay.
computer.
How come you don't have a, would a pad work?
No.
The pads don't
I
work?
hate
I mean,
pads too.
It,
They don't have a phone in them, right?
Some of them do.
some do, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Anyway, okay. So, I think the first thing that needs to happen is to figure out where you would want to place those posts. And then also figure out if you wanted to basically do a base. You're gonna mount them. You're talking about a 4-foot lift,
Yeah,
okay?
to get over the play structure.
Yes. So we need to know what type of, how much
Okay.
and
Pipe?
what type of pipe to use
Yeah,
for
Someone
well,
that.
was saying use a drill stem, but that is so heavy, you don't wanna go high in the air
Well-
with that
Well,
stuff.
he said it's squared though, so what you need
Here's
is a
the thing
bigger
is
square.
Yeah, we have square tubes already.
Okay.
So we need to find a tube
Bigger
that we
square.
can,
Asleep.
Fit
that we
in.
can telescope that into also.
And if you set your, whatever you decide on, if you take that 4-foot and sink it 2 feet, so you need a 6-foot if you're trying to get a 4-foot lift. And then not only set it in concrete, but fill it with concrete to set your other posts in. And that gives you the good sturdy.
Yeah, filling it with concrete wood, and we probably need to put some guide bars up too.
We did
They
talk
get
about that.
dangerous.
We
Yeah,
got
they are
that.
dangerous, it depends on how you employ
Got kids
them.
running
Yeah,
into them and stuff.
Yeah, if you put them up high enough, I don't know.
I don't know.
But we need to
If we
take a
can,
look
if
at
we
it
can
and see.
utilize the trees for that as opposed to running guy wires to the ground,
I thought the A-frame would be sufficient, but no.
I don't know.
I would run a cable for the top, post to post cable to
With an
secure the
A-frame
top.
on the bottom and just connect it to the top, is that what you're saying?
Well, the A-frame wouldn't go all the way to the top. It would just
No.
be, the thing would lean like this and then it would have a support A-frame. Looking at it from the side.
Okay,
But I don't, the angle would depend and everything else would depend.
The other thing is, do we really need to go totally over the top?
No.
Or
we're
can
not
we
going
cut
to.
down some panels and position them and do them like a sailcloth? And position them to block the
That's what we
sun?
want to do. But if we start cutting it up and then we're gonna need more things to hang it on and then it'll get much more expensive.
Well, it just depends. We probably need to, maybe Saturday, we can come down and, I always find field trips.
open the box and take a look, see.
Yeah,
I like
cut
the
it,
tree
it may
idea
not
just
be-
because it's up and out of the
You
way.
know, may need a,
But-
we don't know what the edges look like.
Then, and,
Finished edge.
you know,
Yeah.
we might,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Probably a canvas shop
No.
can
The
cut
width.
and stitch for us
Make it
whatever
cut to
we
the width.
need and put grommets if we need them or whatever.
Grommets are easy.
grommets are easy to
Well,
put
they
anywhere,
are
but
if you have a drill press.
Oh, excuse
no,
me.
I don't need a drill press, ma'am. I got a
Okay.
big hammer.
I bet you do.
Real quick.
And that's, yeah, that's a different kind
All
of
those
drill
curtains
press,
around my patio, I did all the grommets.
Okay,
I decided the next time, drill press.
See a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it looks solid though. It looks solid. Yeah.
I thought you
See.
just punched them through.
It's, well,
You have to stitch you have to double your edge and
Yes,
put your grommet
I
in the
did.
doubling.
but they give you a little bitty disc
Mm-hmm.
and then the grommet and you gotta hit just right. They gave me a big platform. Anyway,
So.
so what do we wanna do with number 10?
Do we want to?
We want to decide on a field trip to come out and drag that thing out.
I don't know that we wanna drag that thing out, no.
I would like,
Yeah.
I would like to
Gosh.
open the box and look at
See
the
what's in
hardware.
there, yeah.
And,
It's in the maintenance yard?
and then we can do the, field trip over there. Let's take a look, see.
And, yeah.
We might, we want some shade. We might just wanna set a post catty corner across the thing and just run it as one wing going this way and that way. I don't know. Let's take a
Or we
look
could
at it.
set the post and instead of going this way, we just go around the post.
So that's what we have to look at.
We could
I
use
mean,
the
we could
fence
sit here
for the
all night and
baseline,
come up with
couldn't
We could,
Different
yeah.
configurations, so we need to look at it.
We do need to look at it.
Yeah.
So Saturday morning,
9-ish,
Can it be
10-ish?
I won't be
Let me look
available
at
in the morning.
Saturday.
Could it be after?
You want to do it?
I don't know if anybody has.
I'm fine,
Sunday.
I'll be home.
I have, well, I do my lunch thing on noon, so usually noon
Until
to
2 or 3, yeah.
Not 3, 2. I mean, I like you guys and everything, but geez.
I don't know.
Need a break.
I'm pretty sure sometimes it's gone.
It has gone.
Has gone a little long.
It has gone a little longer. So like
Okay.
2 o'clock?
2 o'clock would work.
Does 2 o'clock work for you? And that gives us a reason to get out.
So we do it 2
Gotta go.
o'clock
Saturday
Saturday.
at 2.
2 o'clock Saturday, all right.
And Chris has the crate. It's out in the maintenance yard.
Shall we bring a crew bar?
No, he's already opened it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we'll take a look and
Can
see
I
what
sit
we
there
got.
again?
And
Thank you, ma'am.
Good with you, 2 p.m. Saturday?
Yeah, I can make it.
okay.
Okay.
Field trip, I love it, love it, love it.
So, we've decided what we're going to do with item 10 of the agenda. So we'll move on to item 11, and this was the mayor's suggestion to put on here.
So we have a group of individuals who have gone up and already assessed, and I think Ann is part of that group.
I watched. from
Oh, you
JNS.
watched? Okay.
I didn't know.
What their intention is, the rock wall that's up there, the lettering that's there, they want to paint it
I agree.
because you
Yes.
can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we talked about that, and I asked them to get together a material list, and they're perfectly willing to volunteer their time to do the work. I also suggested that perhaps we contemplate taking those spotlights that are there, take those out and put regular plugs or something in there, and do backlighting on the letters. So we could do an LED type strip or
From
something.
below.
No, on the back side of the letters. So
Right, from
it's
below.
shining towards the wall,
Right.
and then you get the contrast
Oh, gotcha.
off of that. So that's an option. But then they also decided, they brought some other people in, and they've decided they want to landscape that area. So I'm perfectly fine with all of that. What I've asked is that they give a material list, let the city pay for the plants, because we can do everything tax-free. And they gave me a list of different nurseries to consider and different types of plants they would recommend that would be low maintenance. And so it's not technically the park, but it is part of the
Green area?
what little green area we got. Yes, it is.
But somehow we're gonna have to keep up with it because that used to be very nicely landscaped.
It was.
Even when they had the guard shack up there.
Right.
But if it's not maintained, it looks like crap.
It does. And some of the plants that they are contemplating are low maintenance. I think lantana was one of the ones that they threw in as an option. There was,
Little bush with a little bed.
yeah.
Bird of paradise, which surprised me.
That did surprise me.
But Sharon
But
said
not
so.
only those people, I've had other people who have approached us about, can I go clean up? You know, I mean, there's enough volunteers who want to help out doing that. I don't think that would be a problem.
And that lady
Mm-hmm.
that you said, she's very interested in volunteering, but through the week, because weekend she sees her grandkids.
Well,
or
and so that
something.
works out well because a
So-
lot of us are working during the week and only have the weekend. So, you know,
We need
it works out
somebody to
well.
water them in every couple of days until they get established.
Until they get, established.
Do we have water available up there?
We do
Or-
not. Not until we get the animal control thing finished.
Okay.
But even then, we'd be crossing somebody's property. We'd have to run a water hose across their property.
We
But
can run,
Gallons up there
a
and-
water hose on the easement because AT&T has an easement there.
that's true. Yeah. We can come up with a way. What would be ideal is, my husband used to have one. It was a big water tank, one of those polypropylene tanks. fill it up with water. It's got a little spigot on it. And,
Or put
I've
bags on the
had the
trees
same
too, on
thought
the bases
because
of the
it,
water bags.
oh,
That
yeah.
way
could
you
e-
just do it once a
You could
week.
even just put it
Exactly.
in there somewhere where it wouldn't be obvious.
you know, if we're gonna be doing plantings in different areas of the city, we need some kind of a,
Water.
talk to your government guy again about it.
Okay.
Let's find a water trailer.
Okay. Oh, I don't want the whole damn trailer, but yeah.
Sure, get a trailer.
We have a trailer.
Let's go big.
Well, and,
Well,
yeah.
the only thing is if you put that big 275 gallon thing on the trailer when it's full, that's
That's
the only
it.
thing you can have on
That's all,
it.
right.
That's
But
8 pounds a gallon.
I have somebody, I think it's probably going to be on the next agenda, that is wanting to donate a trailer to the city. So it's going to need a little bit of repair work. The bed, the wood needs to be.
How big is the trailer?
It's not Gladys, is it?
Why, are you missing one?
I still
We
got
are.
my trailers, don't I?
I
If
don't
you
know
just dump
exactly
away,
how big it
Charles.
is. I want to say it's 8 foot long. It may not be that.
Not ours.
That's not-
Oh, it's a-
So, but the point is, we could have
Not a
another
large
option
trailer.
besides
Yeah.
the one trailer that we have, so. And until they actually come to us to donate it, it's not ours to do. we think.
So when are they gonna start on,
Well, what I've asked them is to,
get to the,
give me
The
the
list.
list and everything, and then, we will get a price together and probably a time frame. And again, this may be one of those that has to be piecemealed, because of the weather, I mean, if you're just, the letters that need to be painted, that's easy. The lighting, to fix the lighting the way we want it, that's easy. But once you start doing the planting, it's probably not the ideal time to be doing
I would
that.
recommend agaves, because, agaves, does
Yeah,
anybody
I would
like
recommend anything that
agaves?
stays
Yeah, I've
green.
got
like
some.
There's some little ones in there right now, isn't
Spanish
there?
olive,
I,
lantana,
they
stays
used to have some great big ones in there.
It's
After
funny, I
they-
think those
after
three
they shoot,
that are
they die.
the ones,
Yeah.
some of the
Are
ones
they?
that they
What was the
recommended.
third one?
Spanish.
Lantana.
Oh, the lantana and the
Spanish
Spanish.
olive.
Yeah.
That one has big white flowers.
Yeah.
You were
Oh,
so
that's a
right. I
beautiful
think it
tree.
was.
Yeah, and then mountain laurel's green all year
Mountain
too.
laurel.
It's
Yeah, I
green.
think
Get the
that
pumpkin
they-
I'm
stuff.
saying, all of those.
Get the right
They-
kind of
they
mountain
also-
laurel, because some of them flower real nice and some of them just, I got one and it
They also
doesn't flower
mentioned,
a lot.
The
Yeah, the
desert willow,
earliest flowering
which
tree around.
is
Well,
a
no,
really
that's the
nice plant, but
redbud.
it's not evergreen.
Well, yeah.
I
The,
think, does it turn?
one of the
like,
ladies
red
though
and
is
yellow
a
during
landscaper.
The lantana?
No.
Oh,
these are
That's
Spanish
Sharon
But it's
I like
also
lantana.
called
Pollock,
Put that in.
or whatever her name is
a
one of them.
locust
And
tree, I
so
think.
she should
No.
know
No.
what
No.
kind, I would assume.
I think she's involved in it.
I don't-
Yes.
I don't
All I
remember.
know
Kinda
that was
looks
up
like
there
a-
was Dawn and Missy and Sharon.
It has
Sharon
like a little-
Pavlik, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know
Pavlik.
what
Isn't she
Pollock
the
Pavlik.
she's the landscape?
She works in
Yeah, she's the
landscaping.
landscaper.
Well, then she
So-
should know.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I thought we would put one of those electronic signs up in there.
We've
There's
talked
two
about-
sections.
Well, so here's another thing that was thrown out there, which I thought was kind of a good idea. On the front side of the rock wall, it's blank, and it's pretty wide. And it was suggested that this be done and mounted on the front. Now, I have not done it, but I meant to do it. There is a company that does signs, and they also do aluminum. And so if we did an aluminum sign with the logo on it, we could do any number of things. We could
be
do the
enamel.
color, right, we could do it in color, or we could, if we wanted to go fancy, we could do cutout, where they do the plasma cutout piece, kind of a silhouette type thing. But they suggested putting a sign on the front.
That would be cool.
That would be
really
cool.
nice.
And the challenge with the electronic sign,
No, they're expensive as
they are
hell.
very expensive, and I honestly don't know that that is the ideal location for that. I don't really know where the ideal location is, because if you pick one spot, there's people who are not going to see it.
Yeah.
Anyone that comes in on Priest Road down at Lamb, they're not going to see it. Anybody that's coming in on Shady Forest is not going to see it. You miss a whole lot of people. So while I agree that a sign would be great, we're
Well,
gonna have
then
to
we
come up
wouldn't have
with
the
something.
people saying, well, you didn't post it, you know, because they don't see the.
Yeah, but that's that's something different, but we did talk about that, so.
So they're gonna get you the list?
Yes,
and-
they're gonna
and
give me a
then-
list of
so-
materials and, the cost of doing that. And, then we can, I just threw it on this agenda just because I thought it's kind of park related, sort of.
I'll put it on the next agenda
do it.
too. We probably
Okay.
have more, information by then.
Exactly. Okay.
So item number 12 is adjourned.
And it is what time?
It is 7:58.
And we stand adjourned.
Yes.
And I'd like to